Hey, my comic book heads. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about an independent book from Aftershock Comics. It's called Phantom of the Scan. It's written by Cullen Bunn and drawn by Mark Torres. So sit back. We're going to go a little bit deep dive into this book and talk about this book. And hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. All right, so we're going to be talking about Phantom on the Scan. Once again, it's been written by Colin Bunn and drawn by Mark Torres. Before we start, I want to first off thank all the over 200 subs I have gotten here on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. I want to thank y'all so much. I would not. I'm still in shock right now to find out that 200 people, over 200 people, like to hear what I have to say. So I really do appreciate you. And before we get started, if you like these type of videos, let me know. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And I am planning a 200 sub giveaway. I'm just getting everything together as we speak, and then from there, I will let you know. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this book. Now, with Phantom of the Scan, this is a great book. This is issue one, the night the comet fell. So basically, is going over what happened 20 years ago. And the artwork in here is so amazing. I love the way it's drawn, and things of that nature. So we start off with the main character. This gentleman is Matthew. The little boy is Dorian. And basically, it's basically telling the history of what happened to Dorian, and why Matthew is so important to the overall story. So this gentleman here is they cut to my hometown of city of Detroit, and this gentleman here is one of the. You will find out later that he's one of the people that was a part of this company that got experimented on, and you see that he's trying to quiet the voices in his head. So if you ever seen a movie called Scanners, it's similar to that. Now, what happened here is his mind is basically being, it's almost like the xenomorphs from Aliens, and the alien pops out of his mind. This is similar. So as you can see, alien popped out, something popped, exploded his head, and something crawls out of it. We don't know what it is. You'll find out later on. And so now they're talking to Matthew, and Matthew's talking to, I believe that is Doctor Horner. Yes, it is Doctor Horner, and you can see that Matthew is able to utilize his powers with the help of Dorian. Basically, is the like this aberration that is also part of his mind that gives him his powers as well. You'll find out later on in other issues how he got his powers, him and the others. And he basically making him tell the truth what's going on. He want more names of other people who was also subject to this experiment. And he also mentions in this as well, as you can see, they mention all the names of the people they got experiment on. So they're basically trying to find. He's trying to find not only those people, but he also trying to find the doctors um, responsible. So these are all the people that's been affected, you know, from all walks of life. And then they get to the diner where he invited all those people, and the way he invited them was through their minds because they're connected. Okay, so all the people are meeting, they're having a conversation, and they're basically um, talking about what's going on, what's happening to them, and things of that nature. And then all of a sudden, one of the people that met, his head explodes, and out of his head is an alien being. So this continues on with issue 2, and this, like I said, is like one of those baby xenomorphs that explode in their head. It's literally just like that. Just to let you know, instead of a chest buster, is a brain buster, and you see more and more of these creatures, and it's really messed up how they end up in their heads. So the creature escapes, right? And so there's like, well, what we're gonna do? We got to find the doctors that did this to us, so that we can figure out how we can, so we can prevent that from happening. So this here is Dr. Horner sleeping in his bed, and he notices his nose is still bleeding from his interaction with Matthew. So he's sitting there asking, he's sitting trying to sleep, and then these agents from the company that started all this come in and take him and trying to take him away to talk to him, right? Um, so because they know that the group is getting together, and they got to protect all the doctors. And as they were driving, something's going wrong with the car. The car slams into a tree, and other things starting to happen. Glass shatters and kills a couple of the agents. And lo and behold, is the one of the big bads of the book. This is Victor, or he calls himself Vic. He's also has the same powers as the others, but he has a different agenda. His agenda is to kill all the doctors for doing, because he knows his time is limited. Because the more they use their powers, the more it hurts them, and more they get closer and closer to death for those brain busters to pop out. So they just basically going over who how to find them in different ways. So each one of them have different different capabilities. As you can see, um, Victor took care of Dr. Horner, killed him off. He can basically, I want to make sure I say it correct. It's not telepathy, it's telekinesis, and he used it to kill his body. And Dorian, like I said, is the one, the little kid that follows Matthew. And I believe he's one of the other ones that was experimental that didn't make it, but that's his second link. And he got connected with his with the uh, with the other people, and he found out that Dr. Horner was killed. So, and this this young lady, she used, what is it called? Her powers, basically she could utilize electronics. She says it in here, and I just can't remember what it was. But she can really utilize and get information from technology. So here's they find. I want to say this is Dr. Corman. This is one of the no. This Dr. Sanders. Yes, Dr. Sanders. They meet up with him. He's telling them, yeah, he knows why they're there, and he basically tells them they're too late. And the reason why they say they're too late, Victor shows up. So this is their first meeting with Victor. Okay. So in this one, they meets up with Victor. They say, Victor, who the hell is Victor? And then Victor does his thing, his telekinesis, shatters the glass, um, stab wood pieces through the back of Dr. Sanders, um, and you know, finally meets the other people. He's basically, his in his mind, he's doing the right thing. He's basically saying like, hey, these doctors did something to us. They need to pay with their life. I'm gonna die anyways once this thing busts out my brain, so I'm gonna kill them all. But Matthew, Matthew and Jessica really trying to, and everybody else, of course, really trying to find a different way to do this so they can reverse it, so they can get their lives back. And this is Dr. Sanders saying, I'm sorry. So they trying to find more doctors. This is, I want to say, this is Aston. So they trying to locate more doctors. And as you can see, this is what they did to him. So they sliced their brain open and they put in. This is when they were kids, by the way. They put She's just seen it now as an adult. So what they did was they put a piece of a like an alien egg inside their brain that crash landed. That's what goes from the first issue when the comet fell. Comet fell. The government got to the site, and this company called Trillex went in there and got the alien, and they wanted to experiment on these kids. So it's more than what you see here. Um, and Matthew used his psychic buddy to bring her back. Um, and as they in the car, they trying to find some more. So what they did was, um, one of the young lady who could utilize her ability for technology, she goes in, she finds another doctor, which is uh, other names of the doctors, Corbin, Hendricks, and also Trulex. You but they found out that one of the doctors, Hendricks, is already dead. So look, it could be the fact that Victor got to them. So they locate where Dr. Corbin was, and they're going to go out and see him. What happened was one of the I want to say was um, Gerald Granville. He used his ability to astroplane and find a doctor and basically telling him like, "Yo, we need to meet." And he gave him a meeting spot, and that's where they're gonna meet him. Also, the thing is, Victor knows where it's at as well. Oh, so what you see now is the alien in the astral plane that's in his head is basically attacking him, and um, what you're gonna see in the next issue, it actually explodes in his head while he was in the car. So you're gonna see it right here. His head explode. The alien crawls out. They crash, and the alien skeeters away. So basically, what's happening is as these aliens are popping out of their brains, it's going back to the mother. Okay, and you will see the mother. And so they're trying to find a way to get there. What they did was it was another random person driving, and the young lady used her powers to convince him to give him his car, and they did. And they this scene here is basically Victor finding Dr. Corbin's house, and when he got there, he figured out that the other people warned him. And what happened is, as he approaches, the other agents, um, the other agents show up from the company, thinking they to pick up Dr. Corbin, but he realized that Corbin's not. They realize Corbin's not there. Victor's there, and he basically kills all the other agents but one, so he could show him where where Corbin is going, and so he could get there, so he could kill him too. As you can see, this book is very, very brutal, bloodied and brutal. You know, but I love the way it's drawn. I love the way it's colored and ink. So now they are at the house where they're supposed to meet Dr. Corbin, and he's basically telling them, um, there's more than just them, you know, and they are really trying to come to grips that there's nothing they could. Because I believe the doctor told them there's nothing they could do for them, so they're coming in grips with that. But they said they want more answers, and what's going to happen is, as they go through, um, Victor and the agent that he left alive find the house that they're at, because what they did was they went to the Trilix company to find out why they did this and how they could actually fix it. But the doctor was telling them there's really nothing they could do, but they want to go there anyways to find out. Um, so Victor, the agent said, "Look, I led you here. Um, they give me a chance, so they can figure out what to do next." And then Victor was like, "Nah," and he just basically speared a deer head that mantle was on the wall into the agent's body. So Victor knows where they're going, and so he's gonna meet them all of them up at the um, at the company called Trilux or Trolux. So they're going through, and the more Matthew uses his powers, like I said before, the closer it gets to death. And so they're doing little flashbacks here and there, things of that nature. Um, they're going through they're going through the complex, and they try to stop them, but of course they got powers. They aren't able to stop them. They meet up with the mother alien. This is the mother alien. This is what they was getting all the aliens implanted in their brain. Even she says right here, says you put pieces of that thing into our brains. We said we did not know exactly what would happen. The results was beyond our expectations. We would never expect we never expected these new side effects. So basically, he said you gave us brain tumors that gave us psychic powers, but they've been growing, and they've been growing, and they're going to hatch, you know. And they one of Jessica noticed that the mother is moving, and Aston trying to reach out to it, and no, I'm sorry, Aston was just standing there, and all of a sudden her body lifts and her neck gets snapped. Why? Victor shows up. So then it becomes a big battle between Jessica, Matthew, and Victor, and they all battling back and forth. And finally, Jessica saves Matthew because Matthew's about to get killed by Victor. Jessica saves and kills Victor, and so what they notice is the noise from the mother starts to scream. Basically, she's calling out to her kids to come back, the ones that hatched. And then this is where the last doctor died. This is Dr. Corwin. The alien basically exploded his brain. Um, so what happened was Matthew used the help of Dorian, his little psychic child, to go into the head of the alien to talk to it and try to stop it. Um, and it was reaching everybody in the facility, you know. And finally, what happened was he used the alien against itself, and all the kids came in, but the way they did it was he made the little aliens get speared and killed by his own mother, and they started attacking it, and the other aliens attacked it to the point where it killed the alien. Um, Jessica survived, and now she could see Dorian. The only person that could have seen Dorian was Matthew. I forgot to tell you about that. So she could see Dorian now, meaning that um, Matthew pushed to the point where he died, and basically he's dying as we speak. And basically what he told her was something that they didn't know. There was more of them. So it ends with her going out and possibly seeking other people with power just like her. And now she feels like she's free. She's free control. She doesn't have. So now basically what they're saying is, um, now that the alien's dead, there's no reason for the aliens to pop out their brains. There's no reason for them to hatch because the mother is dead. And there's more people. So I'm hoping it is another volume comes out of this. I really enjoyed it. The artwork is phenomenal. I love Cullen Bunn's writing. Mark Torres drawing this book is excellent. So if you like this, I believe the trade paperback is out for this book, but it's easy to find. 'Cause not too many people talk about this book. But if you want to hear more stories like these, 'cause I'm really gonna try to talk more of independent books, but I'm also gonna do mini series from Marvel and DC. One thing I'm loving what DC is doing now, they're doing a lot of mini series, and so is Marvel. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of stories like this. And mainly it's gonna be books that's over a year or two old, because that way you don't have to worry about spoilers. But I want to thank everybody for watching this. Once again, I also want to thank my over 200 subs. If you want to get more stories like this, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you anytime I post a video, you get a notification. And I want to thank y'all so much. Have a great night.